Shalom, Jeremiah Yakal. Before we start off, one of your praises to the Father and the Son. Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahushua, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahushua, Brakatah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Yahweh is the people ignorantly called God, and Yahushua is the people ignorantly called Jesus. So-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans. You are the Hebrew Israelites. You know, today we're going to be pulling a couple precepts from Mark 10. This is Mark 10 and 17. And when he was gone forth into the way, there came one running, and kneeled him and asked, Good master, what shall I do that I may inherit eternal life? 18. And Yahushua said unto him, Why thou callest me good? There is no man good but one. No, that is, no, the Father. No, Abba Yahweh. Verse 19. Thou knowest the commandments, do not commit adultery, do not kill, do not steal, do not bear false witness, defraud not, honor thy father and mother. And he answered and said unto him, Master, all these have I observed from my youth. Verse 21. Then Yahushua, beholding him, loved him, and said unto him, One thing thou lackest. Go thy way, sell whatsoever thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and take up the cross and follow me. And he was sad at that saying, and went away grieved, for he had great possessions. And you know, when you look at it, you know, the man that had all the possessions that, you know, asked the Lord, what can I do that I may enter and have eternal life? He looked at, he had all his worldly possessions, but he didn't look at having this truth and having this gospel, you know, as a possession, you know, because when you think about it, pushing this truth is worth more than any worldly possession ever could amount to. It can't even be compared, you know? And on top of that, all these earthly possessions, at the end of the day, come the day of the Lord, is it going to matter? You know, what's going to matter is that did you take up the cross and follow, meaning push the truth, or, you know, did you not? You know, verse 23. And Yahushua looked around and said unto his disciples, How hardly shall they that have riches enter into the kingdom of Yahushua? Because when you think about it, when people have, you know, a lot of riches, it kind of clouds their mind. They think about, okay, how am I going to secure, how am I going to protect these riches? So, you know, their mind is stuck on carnal matters pertaining to their riches into this world, and not on spiritual matters and pertaining to the kingdom to come, which is, you know, pushing this truth, you know, pushing this gospel. Because when you look at it, pushing this truth, pushing this gospel, you know, holds power. Okay, why do you think ever since Elder Bivens came on the scene and the truth been being pushed, more and more brothers have been pushing it across the worldwide, that has been pushing us closer to the end? Because pushing this truth gets us closer and closer, to the end. But it shows also from reading this that, okay, boom, on this side, we have a Hebrew Israelite man. Let's say he knew the truth. He tried to kept the commandments, feast days, all that to the best of his ability. But he never did a video. He never pushed the truth. Then on this side, you have a Hebrew Israelite. He don't really participate in all the feast days, but he, keep the commandments to the best of his ability, and he pushed the truth. Pushing the truth, separates you and puts you in another, category than another brother who just, doesn't do it. Because when you're pushing this truth, you're following and you taking up that cross. You're carrying your cross, man. That's what it's all about. Carrying your cross. Partaking in this ministry. Accumulating knowledge so that you can, teach upon the knowledge that you accumulated so that others can learn, and the cycle goes on and on and on. Until the famine of the Lord fully hit, or, the day of the Lord. But with that, hope this lesson was edifying through spirit and power. Yahweh Shimi Hawashah. All praises unto Yahweh Shimi Hawashah. Until next time, Shalom, Yashal.